Good evening and welcome back to Falcon Update here on YBTV. I'm Josh McLeaf.
And I'm Nolan Hogenboom. Taking a look at COVID-19 stats, Messiah University is at a semester total of 45 positive COVID cases, 30 of which are classified as recovered. Additionally, there are 10 total employee positive cases for the semester, 6 of which are recovered. See Messiah's COVID-19 dashboard webpage for more information regarding those definitions and data. After the recent long weekend, the university will be conducting mandatory COVID-19 testing in Brubaker on Tuesday and Wednesday. Students should check for the sign-ups in a mass email that was sent out over the weekend.
Messiah University had a few new dining locations this past Thursday. However, unlike Lottie, these meals were on wheels. Let's see what happened.
I'm loving this event right now. It's great to see all Messiah students out having fun, enjoying free food. I'm here at the Banana Leaf Indian cuisine truck, and I'm very much looking forward to it. I think this is a great event to have during break to encourage students to stay on campus and be safe and just have a good time.
It's a beautiful, beautiful day. I couldn't ask for a better day. It's 72 right now, and it's gorgeous, and it gets us out of the funk of the mundane going to school, doing the grind and everything. But now we just have this day to relax, and we get to try new food. Like, we have Indian cuisine, we have crepes. It's stuff that we normally don't eat on campus, and it's wonderful to even have that available to us right now.
The staycation food options didn't end with just the food trucks. The Multicultural Council hosted their Food Fest event in Brubaker Auditorium, and the line to attend extended out the doors of the Eisenhower Campus Center. Several multicultural clubs, such as the Black Student Union, the Caribbean Student Association, and the African Student Union, were represented. Each club presented a table decorated with flags, symbols, and club information to help students find ways to get involved and represent their cultures from across the globe. Each club's table was topped with an assortment of meals and treats unique to their cultural cuisine. The event was a great opportunity for each cultural group to showcase the unique nature of their group, learn more about other cultural groups, and share great food with one another.
Messiah Rec Sports also got in on the fun over the staycation weekend with an Ultimate Frisbee Rec tournament. A bit of inclement weather couldn't stop these disc jockeys as they battled their way through a contest with 8 teams. 4 made it through the playoffs, all trying to get those coveted Rec Sports champion t-shirts. We caught up with athlete James Beverly during a break in the action.
It's a pleasure getting to play with all these great people. I'm excited to play some more and win the cup.
Police team Flicked Fence did in fact go on to win the championship. Now that the long weekend is over, rec softball will begin soon, so be on the lookout for continued rec sports throughout the spring.
Students on campus skated, and in some cases slipped, the night away at SAB's ice skating rink near the covered bridge. While the warm weather may have affected a normal rink, this one was different. Attendees skated on an enclosed sheet of plastic, bringing thrills of skating to a less chilly environment. Skaters also danced to the beat of the music and bright lights. Those who didn't want to skate could play cornhole or take pictures at the photo booth. Cotton candy and warm beverages were also provided for in between all of the excitement.
The staycation fun continued on Saturday night within a game that named that tune game held by the Pulse of Brubaker. Contestants faced off in a 3-round tournament competition with 15 total categories, ranging from country to disco, to determine the name that tune champion. Mika Neves took a $50 gift card in 3rd place, Olivia Shields got a turntable in 2nd place, and Jane Myland walked away with the AirPods and the win.
Capture the Flag was another thrilling event over this past weekend. Hosted by the Pulse, the whole campus was split into 2 big territories for teams to defend their flag. Teams were dressed in blue and red shirts to identify each other. The goal? Steal the other team's flag and bring it to your side.
We had to adjust it a little bit, so we obviously couldn't tag people and touch people because I wouldn't be socially distant. So we came up with the idea that we're going to roll socks together and just chuck them at people, and so that's how we're tagging, and it makes it doable and a fun thing. We had about 50 people sign up, but a good many people were interested in going outside, playing a game with their friends, and just having something to do on a Saturday night.
While the game ended with a tie, there is no doubt this event was a win in every sense. Students had a good time running around campus and got to do something out of the ordinary with their Saturday night.
Campus Ministry sponsored a Rest and Renewal Worship Night on Friday in Palmer Hall. Students had to sign up for the Campus Ministry's Canvas page during this time. The students asked for to turn off their phones and rest in renewing God. Students had the opportunity to go outside and sing. This worship night also counted as a chapel credit for this semester. Keep on the lookout for more events like this throughout the semester.
We'll have more Falcon Update after the break. Stay tuned.
YBTV.
A student would want to study the finance major here at Messiah for several reasons. Students here are working and practicing in a setting in our finance lab with technology that they're going to use when they leave here and work in the field. And so our students are certified in Bloomberg. In addition, in several classes, our students are actually performing consulting projects with local financial and investing firms.
I think the biggest thing that surprised me about coming for the finance major here was just the scope that you get in all the different classes. So anything from corporate finance to portfolio management, security analysis, you touch on everything. Getting into investment club was something I really was looking forward to coming here to Messiah. I knew from very early on I wanted to get involved.
There's nothing wrong with going out, being successful, making money, but not allowing money to have a higher place in your life than God. So our goal is to get our students started off on their career path quicker and better positioned than any of their peers.
It's a big responsibility.
Oh, it's huge. I know, it's huge.
And the salary.
Oh my god, yes.
Right?
I mean, like, I was about to move in with my parents, and right before, yeah, so this saved me.
I really believe in you, you know?
Thank you. It's nice to hear that from someone.
These are cool. Did you, what did you...
Welcome back to Falcon Update, live on YBTV. Spring break called for plenty of Messiah athletics. Let's take a look. The men's and women's basketball teams held their senior nights last week and were able to honor them by taking sweeping victories against Eastern University. The men's team walked away with their first home victory on Thursday, conquering the Eagles with a final score of 72-59. The next day, the Falcons faced off against Eastern on their own court and left triumphantly, ending the game with a score of 68-62. Both seniors Matt Golowski and forward Will Young brought their team out on top once more, scoring 23 and 19 points, respectively. The Falcons now sit at 4-6 this season, and head coach Rick Van Pelt has expressed his satisfaction with the growth he's seen in his team.
I thought, our guys played really hard together, and that's just kind of been our focus for the last couple games, is just really competing together as a team. I thought the guys defended really well. Defended with a lot of intensity, a lot of determination, and really defense is where the result kind of hangs on the defensive end a lot. And I thought our guys came up with a lot of defensive stops, especially in that second half. We made a little bit of run.
Next, the men's team will compete in an MAC conference matchup.
Meanwhile, the women's team also went undefeated against Eastern, maintaining their perfect record as they currently sit at 10-0 for the season. At Eastern, forward Leah Springer led the Falcons to victory after scoring 16 points and grabbing 10 rebounds. The game ended with a final score of 75-44. At home, the Falcons experienced a rough first half, but came out strong in the second for a 72-38 win. Senior Jay Davis stole the show on senior night, scoring 22 points, grabbing 6 rebounds, picking up 5 steals, and dishing 2 assists. Senior Brooke Brynick also explained how the closeness of the team brought them to victory.
I think
we had each other's backs really well. I think on and off the court we were a family, and I think that's what gets us through the really tough times on the court. I think how we responded in the second half showed a lot about our character and our grit, and just not on the court but off the court as well.
This Thursday, the Falcons will compete in the MAC Commonwealth Conference Championship, looking to earn their 5th consecutive MAC Commonwealth title. The opponent is to be determined.
The women's lacrosse team played a strong game last week, earning a road victory against Widener University. The Falcons quickly took charge in the beginning of the game, jumping to a 7-0 lead in the first 10 minutes of the match. Senior attacker Abby Howard shot 6 goals throughout the game and helped the team secure a 17-2 victory. The Falcons now sit at 2-0 this season and will compete against Albright College this Wednesday to maintain their perfect record.
On Saturday afternoon.
The Messiah softball team started off their season by competing against Eastern University in 2 different doubleheader matches last weekend. The Falcons won both road games with finishing scores of 9-4 and 4-1 both for Messiah. Junior Madison Walters struck out 5 batters in the first game, with sophomore Brent Baker striking out 3 in the second. However, the Falcons fell short on their home field and gave both games to the Eagles, ending Game 1 with a score of 6-2 and Game 2 with a score of 4-0. The Falcons currently sit at 2-2 on the season and will travel to York College this week for another doubleheader match where they can improve their record.
On Saturday, the men's and women's swim teams competed against Hood College in a virtual meet featuring 14 different events. They also honored Messiah seniors Molly Elspaz, Malin Elder, and Jake Valentine prior to the competition. The 200-yard relay featured Elspaz and Elder, along with Abigail Sorens and Lainey Flanagan, working together to touch in at 1 minute and 59 seconds. Followed by the other team, Messiah team, who finished in 1 minute 59 seconds as well. Sophomore Isaac McGabe also had a stellar performance on Saturday afternoon, touching first in the 100-yard breaststroke, the 200-yard breaststroke, and the 200-yard IM. This week, the Falcons will host Eastern University and go head-to-head against the Mustangs in Messiah's own Frederickson Auditorium.
We will have more Falcon update after the break. Don't go anywhere.
C77 is now officially rebranded as Yellow Reaches TV.
My name is Nathan Sims. I'm a junior at Messiah, and I'm a double major in both film and media arts and Spanish. I grew up making films as a kid. I saw that Messiah had a film program, and so when I visited, I just thought this is the perfect fit. Both the theory and practical considerations here have really increased my skill set, not just in a technical sense, but also from a theoretical perspective as well. I think the biggest piece that I'll add to my portfolio before I graduate is the final film for the junior and senior film project. That'll probably be my crowning achievement because I'm working with so many other artists and other film majors, and it's just been a really great opportunity so far. I think I'm most excited to use skills I've learned in documentary class. I have to make ethical decisions in every step of the process to really come up with a strong and truthful way to tell someone else's story. I think my professors have done a really great job of being strong examples for what combining your faith and your ethics with an art form like film, what that looks like. And so the interactions have almost always been positive because they're really invested in what their students are learning. One of my most valuable experiences was my internship, where I was able to actually apply what I learned in the classroom to the real world, and I think that's a completely invaluable experience. Personally, I did my internship with the Department of Natural Resources in Maryland. One of my favorite experiences at Messiah so far has actually been the Splice Film Festival, which allows students to submit their own personal work, and being able to share the art that I created as well as my fellow classmates was absolutely beautiful. I think the market right now is very open for film and media arts majors. There's a lot of different ways that you can plug in, both at nonprofits, at regular organizations. I worked in the government, and so I think there are absolutely a lot of opportunities.
watching YBTV.
Welcome back to Falcon Update, live on YBTV. We go to PJ Rydell with this week's campus calendar.
I'm PJ Rydell, here with this week's campus calendar. Just because staycation is over doesn't mean that the on-campus events are too. Here are some great ways to get involved in the upcoming week, both in person and virtually. On Thursday, March 18th at 7 o'clock p.m., Messiah's Women's Ministry and Beyond the Ceiling present Faith in the Workplace. The event will feature the stories of Mina Choi and Shia Low as they share their experiences in the workplace and what the intersection of faith and professional life looks like. In addition to the personal stories, the event will also include a discussion time and Q&A opportunities. Through the stories and conversations, the event is designed to educate those in attendance about workplace experiences they may encounter in professional life. If you are interested in attending, look for the Zoom link sent in your mass email. Have you ever considered or dreamed of working at NASA? If so, you'll want to join in on Friday, March 19th, from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. for the virtual career chat with Andrea Parker, a Messiah alum and current employee at NASA. During this career chat, Andrea Parker will be talking with attendees about her personal career path, including internship experiences at NASA. If you're a student in business, engineering, or accounting, NASA offers internship opportunities that may interest you based on your specific major. The Zoom link and password can be found on Falcon Link or in your mass email. The Office of Sustainability is hosting a community picnic night on Friday, March 19th, from 5:30 to 6:30 in the area behind the Angle and Agape Centers. The goal of the event is to encourage students to gather together in groups of 6 to 8 people, following all COVID-19 guidelines, of course, and enjoy the weather while engaging in thoughtful conversation with one another. Anyone is free to join in. All you need to do is bring your own food and something comfortable to sit on. On Friday, March 19th, from 7 p.m. until 9 p.m., Agape invites you to the Larson Student Union patio to welcome in the spring season on campus. There will be space to hang out and socialize with friends, paint your very own flower pot, plant your own flowers, sit around the fire pits, and play games. As an added bonus, some great prizes will be raffled off as well, including Yeti travel mugs, gift cards, and yard games. Agape will be hosting another event that you won't want to miss on Saturday, March 20th, in Hostetter Chapel from 7 p.m. through 9 p.m. You're invited to join Agape by volunteering to help make cards for children facing chronic and/or life-threatening conditions in local hospitals. Supplies for making cards will be provided at the event, and don't think that you can't make a difference. Whether you can create elaborate drawings or simply write an encouraging word, your efforts can make a difference for a child in need. Join Agape for the opportunity to make a difference in the lives of others, socialize with friends, and potentially win prizes. For more events happening on campus, check out the recent This Week at Messiah mass email. There are lots of opportunities to get involved and stay busy. That's all we have for this week's campus calendar. I'm PJ Rydell.
Thanks, PJ. We now go to Paul Callender with this week's Falcon Features.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Falcon Features, the segment in which we feature the hard work and accomplishments of the Messiah community. I'm your host, Paul Callender. Now, what if I told you that you could harness the power of your anger to work towards your goals? As confusing as that may seem, it may not be out of the realm of possibility. Dr. Carol McGinnis is Associate Professor in Messiah's Graduate Program of Counseling. In her theory, the Amazon Warrior Theory, she says that anger is a natural feeling. The name derives from the mythical lore surrounding the Amazon warrior women who were infamously dangerous fighters. McGinnis received a $7,000 grant recently from the Association for Clinical Pastoral Education. She plans to use this money to create an app that will bring tests, interventions, and other resources to the public on proper anger management. Inspired by Jesus Christ's anger in the temple, in which he flipped over tables to express his feelings, McGinnis believes anger is sometimes the key to resolving conflict. For resources recommended by McGinnis, check out the website anger.works for more information. And with that, that's all we have for this edition of Falcon Features. Once again, I'm your host, Paul Callender.
Thanks, Paul. What is your favorite college memory? We go to Riley Williams for this week's Falcon on the Street.
On this week's episode of Falcon on the Street, we're asking people what their favorite college memory is.
My favorite college memory was the Pulse Christmas party last year.
Before the corona, hanging out in the quad with all the boys. Doesn't get better than that.
My favorite college memory was the Powerhouse events that happened during the fall semester. I still remember the wonderful weather that we had walking down to the fitness trail, and just being able to openly worship with a bunch of other like-minded Christians was one of my favorite experiences that I had.
Addie, what is your favorite college memory so far? Thank you.
My favorite part about my college experience has been getting involved with the Pulse.
When all the food trucks and the carnival games happened. I remember waking up around 10 a.m. And I came outside and there was just a different energy. There were just a bunch of people out, and I just felt like everybody was like an active community, and it just felt like what college should feel like without COVID.
I think getting our scrubs for the nursing program was pretty exciting.
I don't have any one particular experience that I can pinpoint, but I would say it's all the little moments that make the college experience worthwhile.
Well, those were some great answers we had today. That's all on this week's episode of Falcon on the Street. For YBTV, I'm Riley Williams.
Thanks, Riley. After the break, we'll have Kenny Runkle with us to talk about Messiah baseball. You won't want to miss it. Stay tuned.
My name is Arkel Brown. I am a senior communication major here at Messiah. Within our community, honestly, it's like one big family. Everyone relies on each other to get certain projects done. You know you can depend on other people within the communications department. Throughout the years, my skill set has completely evolved, and I was actually able to do color commentating for the men's basketball last season, so it was pretty fun. I take pride in these extracurricular programs. I am the student assistant basketball coach for the women's basketball team. This year is my 4th year working with them. They've really become another family here for me on campus, and it just made me adapt so easily. And basketball is something I've always loved, so it was natural. The interactions between professors and students here are amazing, honestly. I couldn't ask for any better interactions with my professors. They're so caring, they're so loving, they're generous, and they're always open to anything you have to say or any questions that you have. They really want to be there for you. My Christian faith is everywhere in the classes, whether it's being through prayer before classes or having devotion. It's always tied in with our Christian faith. Like, we have to be honest. We have to know we have to keep God first in every situation and know that without God, we wouldn't even have the opportunity to be where we are. It definitely keeps us grounded. And I think Messiah has taught me so much about myself within the communication department, as how I relate to people, how people relate to me. We understand each other's differences. And I think I'll be ready for the real world once I graduate.
What?
You're watching Falcon Update live on Messiah University's Yellow Breeches Television.
Welcome back to Falcon Update live on YBTV. I'm here joined by Kenny Runkle, member of the Messiah baseball team. How are you tonight?
I'm doing well, Chris. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right, yeah. Nothing to complain about. So what exactly is your role on the team? What do you play?
So I'm a junior left-handed pitcher, and my role this year is to be a starter. So every Saturday, 7, I start.
All right. I'm not super familiar with baseball stuff, so can you explain a little bit about what a junior pitcher means as opposed to something else?
So I'm a junior in class in school here, so that just means I'm a junior.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So I know that baseball was cut quite short last year, just like every other sport. So how exactly did COVID affect the team last year?
Last year, so we got 7 games in. We got told the news less than a week before we were supposed to go to Florida. So that was kind of a bummer, but I mean, Coach kept us in contact through the whole quarantine and the whole COVID situation. Like, was really, really supportive about coming back and having a great season this year.
Yeah, it's really good that you have a coach that will keep you all together, because I think you need that for baseball and really any sport, to have that team cohesion. But so how exactly is COVID affecting the team this year?
This year, first off, it's having not a full season. So instead of having 40 games this year, we will have 28. It also means that every team will make playoffs this year, which is great for, postseason baseball is always the most fun and entertaining baseball. But yeah, this season, me personally, I just got out of quarantine from having COVID. So I had missed 2 weeks, which we had our first game in those 2 weeks. And it was just a lot of like adjusting to begin with.
So I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you're all right. Yeah, I hear that COVID isn't like super dangerous, but I know it can leave some lasting effects. But what exactly were your thoughts about being unable to play the past game or so?
I mean, it really stank. Like, baseball is my passion. I love it. It's a child's game that we get to play in college. So, I mean, it wasn't fun, but it was still really cool living in an era of technology. So the game was live streamed, and I got to watch it. So that was awesome.
That's always nice that you're still able to connect with people and other team members while you're away in quarantine. So who exactly are you playing next and when?
So this Saturday and Sunday, we have a doubleheader on both Saturday and Sunday. Saturday is at home and Sunday is away. We're playing Alvernia.
Okay. Yeah, I'm unfamiliar with other baseball teams, but how exactly, do you know anything about them? How good are they?
Historically, they're usually top of the conference, like 1, 2, or 3 seed. But they graduated a lot of people, so they should be a good fight this season between us and them. I mean, we have good pitching and good hitting. They have good pitching and good hitting, so it should be a fun one.
So do you personally have any long-term goals for baseball or anything else with the sport?
So with baseball, I mean, I realistically have a year and a half to play the sport I love at the collegiate level. And after that, I'm looking to go into working behind the scenes with a professional sports team. Baseball is obviously my dream job, but any sports team I would love to work for.
That's always good. Yeah, it's good to always have a backup and to do the things that you love. So being in quarantine, you were still able to watch the game, obviously. So how did it feel to watch the team win the first game of the season?
It felt amazing. I mean, being able to practice with those guys and just seeing how hard they've been putting in work, and then to see it translate to the field and watch our pitchers throw well and watch our hitters hit well was just amazing.
So what does a typical practice consist of for you and the baseball team? Like what sort of things do you do to get ready for a game?
Okay, so practice early in the week, we usually work on stuff that we did wrong during the game of the previous week. So like this past week, we didn't really play defense too well. Like we were letting fly balls drop, letting the sun play a factor. So this week we're probably going to work heavily on defense. A lot of fielding, a lot of fly balls. And then we work that up until Friday, and usually Friday is like our big offensive day. So pitchers usually line the outfield and catch BP for the hitters to hit and just really dial in their swings for the weekend.
So what were your thoughts about being canceled last year? I know you went into a little bit before, but can you just say how it felt, what you were thinking?
For me personally, the hardest thing with last season being canceled was the seniors, because they were such great leaders and they were amazing people. And to have their senior year cut short before we even played a conference game, it was really a heartbreaker.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, unfortunately, that is all the time we have. A big thank you to Kenny Runkle for coming on the show, and for Josh McLeith and Nolan Hogenboom and our other fantastic reporters. I'm Chris Blakeman. Have a great night, and we'll see you back here next week.
You're watching Falcon Update on YBTV.